Welcome back. For those of you who are new to the channel, we've been doing a series on breathing. So we've talked about everything from how your breathing can be making you sick, the ways that you're breathing, what it's doing to your body. Now we're going to be talking about 5 things you can do to improve your breathing. Because I think it's really important. If we can find out all the problems, and that's great. And people like to say, oh, 5 mistakes about this and 5 worse things. But it's good to know what you need to do. And now you can start focusing on it and paying attention. Because most people think that breathing is, well, just breathing. But it's not that simple. It's not exactly true. The way we breathe has such a significant impact on our health and our well-being, not only physically, but also emotionally and mentally. And the importance of proper breathing cannot be overstated. A lot of people have developed really unhealthy breathing patterns due to a lot of different things. There are a lot of factors involved, like stress, maybe a sedentary lifestyle, maybe poor posture. That can make such a huge difference. These unhealthy patterns can include shallow breathing, we don't breathe deep enough, rapid breathing, we're breathing too fast, or over breathing, which is hyperventilation. And in turn, these patterns can lead to issues like reduced oxygen in the body. We've talked about some of those, the delivery of oxygen throughout the body. It can start to create an imbalance in your level of oxygen and your carbon dioxide, and it can cause an increased level of stress hormone, which leads to a lot of other things. So here are 5 things you can do to improve your breathing. The first thing is diaphragmatic breathing, or that people call it belly breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing involves deep breathing, and it fully engages your diaphragm, not just the chest. You're not just breathing like this. And I mentioned this a little bit in the other videos, but I'm going to go into a little more detail here. If your chest is rising when you breathe, you're not breathing fully in your diaphragm. This should stay totally stationary and relaxed. And when you breathe in, your stomach would expand. Let me step back and see if you can. I'm wearing kind of let me put this a little bit tighter. So my chest, it's really hard because I'm used to chest breathing. So if I'm chest breathing, it would look like this. But if I'm diaphragmatic breathing, it's going to look like this. So when you do that, it fully engages the diaphragm, not just the chest, and it makes it so the oxygen going through your body is so much more efficient. It promotes better relaxation. It promotes better stress management. It's good on so many levels. So let me tell you about some research that was done, and this is just one. There are so many articles of research about this, but there was a 2017 study that was published in the journal Frontiers in Psychology, and it showed that diaphragmatic breathing can improve cognitive performance. So basically, it helps you think better, and it reduces negative, subjective, and physiological consequences of stress in healthy adults. That's what the research said. So all the things that we do that cause a lot of stress, all of a sudden, we're not getting as many of the negative consequences of it if we're breathing deeply. So it can counteract things that are happening in our life and some of the stress that would normally cause negative responses. So let's use an example of John. Let's say he's a lawyer who often experiences a shortness of breath, and he gets anxiety during high stress cases. And after learning about diaphragmatic breathing and practicing it daily, he will find that his anxiety decreases significantly. So it doesn't just affect, oh, I'll have a healthy body. It helps you have a healthy mind, and he'll think more clearly during challenging court cases. The second one is mindful breathing. Okay, that sounds a little bit weird. What is mindful breathing? What does that mean? Mindful breathing involves being fully present and attentive to your breath, and you're observing it. And this is going to sound weird for some people, but without any judgment. Not whether I'm doing it right, whether I'm doing it wrong. Don't try to change it. Just experience it and observe what it feels like and notice how you're breathing. Because what happens is when you start to pay attention to it, all of a sudden you start automatically breathing deeper, breathing better, without even realizing that's what you're doing. Because awareness is 90% of a challenge usually, and especially with your health. If you're not aware what the problem is, it's really hard to take care of it. There was a study that was published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology in 2010, and even before this. So they've known this for a long time, and they're finding more and more information about it. But they found that mindful breathing can help reduce the symptoms of anxiety and depression. Depression is an epidemic in our world today, and it's taught us a lot and helped us learn compassion. It is so funny because it even affects little kids. It can be helpful for little kids. So one of my grandsons, he was going through this stage when I think he was about 3 or 4, and he would get really mad. When he got super mad, he would get so angry that it was almost like he felt like, it seemed like he couldn't calm himself down. And he would feel out of control, and he would want to start screaming, and he would get so mad. And my son, his dad, would hold him and would kind of turn it into a fun experience. And he would hold his son like this, and he would take his hand and put his hand up like this and go, breathe, breathe, breathe in, out. And every time he put his arm up, he would breathe in. And every time he put it down, he would breathe out. And so by the time that they'd done it a few times, then his son would be totally laughing and start to get himself under control. And it's interesting because guess what he was doing? He was doing mindful breathing. He was helping his son focus on the breathing, and then all of a sudden it gets things under control. And so it's kind of become a joke in our family. If somebody's getting frustrated or, starting to really have a hard time, they'll say, just breathe, up and down. So however it works for you, do it that way. The third thing is paced breathing. Paced breathing involves consciously slowing down the breathing, that your breathing rate, to about 6 breaths per minute. So it would look something like this. Oh, and you see, I'm doing chest breathing. I always do that. Okay, I got to do it with diaphragmatic breathing. Do it with me, and I want you to do diaphragmatic breathing. And it's really good to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And in fact, I'm going to do another video that will have tips and tricks that are just little things, little hints that you'll be surprised, make it really nice and really easy to do certain things that kind of help you with breathing, with snoring, with things like that. Paced breathing is a really good thing to do when you're starting to get upset, when you're starting to feel codependent, you're mad at somebody for not doing what you want them to do, or if you have a real challenge where you kind of start to get out of control and you have a hard time controlling your emotions or controlling your behaviors. Paced breathing is a really great way to go. And research has found that paced breathing can be used it's a non-pharmaceutical approach to lower your blood pressure when you're hypertensive, when you are starting to get out of control like we talked about. So practice that. Next time you start to feel upset, and I'll tell you this is what's going to happen. You're going to start to feel frustrated, and you're going to be, I'm not in the mood to do that, but do it anyway. Humble yourself and just try it and see what happens. The fourth thing that you can do that can be really powerful is something they do in yoga. They call it pranayama. Pranayama comes from ancient times. It's an ancient breathing technique that originated from yoga practices in India. And it involves controlling your breath in different styles and lengths to increase your energy. It releases stress. It can improve your mental clarity. It improves physical health. So it might look something like this. You can do it in a lot of different ways. So let's say that I want to breathe strong in and out every 4 seconds. So I'm going to go. Or I might do every 1 second. Or I might do something like this. So there are several different ways, and people have taken the original and made little offshoots of that as well. But it's very healing for the body. It's rejuvenating for the body. So even if you're at work and you're feeling like you're so tired you need to take a nap, or you're in a situation where you're getting so frustrated, you can stop and even do that for just 60 seconds. If you can take 5 minutes and do it, it's even better. The whole point of what you're trying to do is you're trying to create that mental focus, the rejuvenation, the healing, but it's in the context of cultivating and modifying the amount of flow that's coming in and out, the quality, and the direction. Through your nose, out your mouth, or different directions. And the goal is to try to move your vital energy in the body. And so there's a whole lot involved with that. It's good for you to know about it. It's something else. It's another resource that you can go check out and learn how to do for your health, for your body. And the fifth thing you can do is improve your posture. This was one of the ones we listed in our video where we were saying these are things that people are doing that are causing problems with their body. If you will improve your posture, it allows your lungs to fill up without you even thinking about it. So even if you're thinking, wow, I forget to work on my breathing, I don't have time for that, I'm busy, I'm going to bed and I'm not in the mood, whatever. If you'll just stand up straight. And one way you can tell if you're standing up straight is my mom used to have us do this. Stand against the wall and put your shoulders, make sure your shoulders are touching the wall. And if your heels need to be touching the wall, your shoulders are touching the wall. And I remember my mom used to make us do this and put your head against the wall. Because look, if my head's not against the wall, I'm leaning my head forward. If your head's against the wall, then when you walk, you'll notice that you're totally straight. And I'll tell you, it's very interesting because, of course, it's great for your breath. It's also great for your confidence. And I see so many people who are leaning down like this. I do musical theater. And one of my coaches, they were teaching us some different things about, being on stage. And one of the things they talked about is you don't want to lean forward. If you're leaning forward, you come across as desperate. Like, I need somebody to pay attention to me. I need someone to see me and hear me. But if you stand back, it's not a negative attitude like I don't need you, but it's, I don't need something from someone else. I'm okay. I'm okay with me, and I'm confident, and I am taking up the space that I was meant to take. And that's how you come across. And what's interesting is they've done studies and they found that people who do stand up tall, they automatically start to behave differently. They start to think differently about themselves in more positive ways. Breathing is such an automatic process. It's one that we take for granted. We just do it automatically. It's easy not to think about it. But our habitual patterns, our lifestyles, even our posture can interfere with the optimal function of our lungs. And we want our lungs to get all the oxygen they need because oxygen is a huge component of our overall health. So when you understand and you acknowledge that it is a profound impact, it matters, and that proper breathing can make a difference, then you will start taking responsibility for diaphragmatic breathing, for mindful breathing, making sure your breaths are deep. And it starts to significantly enhance your well-being. Your life will be different. You will have more energy. Physically, you'll be able to do more. Mentally, you'll be able to handle more. You'll be able to think and be creative. And the person that's inside of you will be able to be what you express to the rest of the world because you'll have the energy to do it. And it is a powerful tool. That's why I wanted to do a whole series on it. And I want you to be able to consciously utilize these techniques so that you can improve your health and it will enrich your life. So take a deep, mindful breath. I did chest breathing again. Okay, take a deep, diaphragmatic, mindful breath because the way we breathe matters more than we might think. And I don't want you to just be healthy. I want you to be better than healthy.